Hey everybody, give me just a second. This is Breaking the Cage, Astrology TV with the Matrix Mind Media. Sorry, I had my volume on over here on my phone. I want to post it out real fast. You guys know I always post it out real fast to my other two pages. And then I get started. La 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 la. Back up one more. What the heck? Maybe. I'm having an issue. I'll go back and I'll do that later then. Alrighty. Alright, now, you guys know that we just came into the equinox energy. It was all about, you know, heart and head, heart and soul. It was also all about light and dark, balance. Get my incense going here. But I kept saying it was going to be about a lot of karma. A lot of karma. And that karma's still coming in. Hold on. Stick in here. I can't get my incense in. But here's part of what you're probably not understanding and what nobody's really talking about yet as to what is going on with why the energies are even more flamboyant, even more obnoxiously coming out of left field. Hold on, I just got a message and I need to look something up to validate I'm giving it right. Why there's so much stubborn and inflexibility in our understanding and our communication and our standing in our ground. And a lot of that has to do with ego, okay? Let me get going here. You've got to understand, eclipses are coming in right around the corner. So this has put an extra chink in things. And the north and south nodes haven't moved yet, but those eclipses are already starting to take place in that spot. So at the end of April, we're going to see our first solar eclipse. And I'm going to do more research to validate because there's never just one eclipse. And I just came across that one. And I'm not sure. I'm going to double check it and make sure if there's a smaller one or something. Because sometimes they're not full eclipses. But I was coming across that today, which was throwing more energy into it all. There's a lot of ego coming out here. This is going to have this energy for this next month. But I'm definitely feeling it for this week. We're starting to look at relationships. We've been looking at relationships the whole time, but we're looking at our unconscious actions within these relationships. We're looking at the borderline of product of your environment and how much of your environment are you a product of it. I mean, how much rulership do you still give to that product of environment versus how much are you noticing that you have changed? And a lot of enabling energies that are going on with these relationships, as well as our own personal identification, our ego, and our introverted selves. We're dealing with a lot of our self-beliefs, our self-projected beliefs, according to those products of your environments, as well as, you know, your ability to choose your beliefs and have your own free will. We're getting into your inner world. We're getting into our more private areas now. And in honesty, it's kind of like, how's that saying go? Your dirty laundry is being aired out for all to see. We got a lot of word vomit, word action coming out. And I'm going to explain it more as I get into everything. But, and if you've been with me or following with me for a while, you understand what I mean when I say that word vomit and the word action. I usually use it when I'm dealing with Mercury retrograde. It's kind of like it just came out. What Spirit is literally giving me, it was funny, it had me laughing. What Spirit is literally giving me is the old Austin Powers movie. I don't know which one it was. It's an Austin Powers movie, and he was talking to somebody who had a mole right here. And like an oversized mole right here. And like Austin couldn't help it. He was like, mole, mole, mole. Mole, 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 mole. Like he couldn't stop himself. It was just coming out. And this is what we're talking about. Your unconscious actions within these relationships, and it just getting aired out. It's coming out without us even wanting to. It's just blurting it out. And what are the actions that are going with this? But this is also speaking to us of, quite frankly, from that unconscious actions and unconscious beliefs or unconscious areas of our ego that we're starting to see come up within our relationships with other people and mirrors, as well as with ourselves, because a lot of this is our introverted self understanding and ego clearing. But the masks of everybody and everything are coming off. In a form, it's the masks and the gloves have come off. So the masquerade is falling apart, literally. And this is what we've been saying about, you know, when you're looking at the society and you're looking at the political arena and all of that, all the masks, the gloves are falling off. Everybody's starting to air out everybody else's. It's the same thing. And you're going to see more of this because you're going towards the solar eclipse. Okay? And anytime you have the eclipses, they're throwing shade out. It's throwing shade out left and right, bringing it to attention. And we're pretty much right at, you know, a month away. The eclipse is going to be, I believe the solar eclipse is on the 20th, and it'll be in Aries. All right. Now let me take a look here at what some of my stuff is. I had a cat sitting on my stuff here a few minutes ago. There's my paper. On my paper. Okay. Because I'm going to get into the stuff that's happened this week or just happened, but the way I'm being explained to explain it to you all is to understand the longer period here. You have the eclipse, you have the equinox come up, it's starting to throw shade at, you know, the balance of the light and the dark, the death and the life. And where are we really looking at things? Are we listening to our heart or our soul? Da, 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 da. You have that full moon, which is going to be coming up in April 6th, which is what, in a week, 2 weeks? In Libra. This has a big deal to do with it all. Libra also has Haumea here. No, make here, which is the lotus flower. I always speak to you about the lotus flower. The lotus flower is one of our highest levels of spiritual development for a flower. It grows in the swamp. It's the swamp of where you're learning to come clean with your true self as you're growing. Can you not see any light? The lotus flower grows in the nastiest, murkiest place. It finally starts to come through to the middle land. It can see the light, but it's still in the muck. It's up and down. It's bobbing. It's learning above and below. And then it starts to stretch. Where are you? Where are you in these relationships? And where are you personally in these relationships? Again, bringing us back to a product of our environment. And is there enabling going on? Because that has a lot to do with the way that this is going to start steering as I get into this week. All right. But I'm showing you where this is growing into. And you have that new moon, which will be taking place with that solar eclipse on the 20th in Aries. Now let me back up. You have Pluto that is just moved. You have Mars that is just moved. Pluto and Mars are very similar, but make no mistake, Pluto will beat Mars's ass, okay? Pluto is like Mars's father, like the leader, where Mars is still the apprentice here. Okay? Pluto has just moved into Aquarius. Now, when we look at it from the perspective of your groups, your memberships, your committees, the products of the environments which you are part of, versus your goals, dreams, and ambitions, Pluto is death, decay, and destruction. He's telling you what to get rid of, what shade needs to be thrown so much light on it to show you where you need to not be part of that anymore, but to show you how and what to get part of or to become part of, so that you can actually go towards the goals, dreams, and ambitions. Now, see right here, Spirit is reminding me there's so many people out there. We'll use famous people as an example because they're kind of giving me, I don't want to hear any of that bullshit. I'll use The Rock as an example. Everybody knows who The Rock is. Rock has had many, many movies, but The Rock did not come from the best home product of environment people. There are a lot of places, a lot of people who have come up out of where they were. They were not in the best developments, the best, maybe they lived in the hood, is what I'm trying to get at. A lot of these people have worked very hard to rise up and out of that. And this is what I'm getting from Spirit. I don't want to hear your excuses. You are responsible for the people you keep, the people, places, and things that I'm always saying. And here he's speaking about the product of the environment, of your groups, your memberships, your committees, and being able to support your goals, dreams, and ambitions and grow and move forward. He's only going to be here for like 2 months, remember? And then he's going to bounce back into Capricorn. So he's taking a big assessment of what he's going to go back and smack some shit around before he comes back next year and really starts working on this. If you get this right, you'll be a year ahead. This is why Spirit's like, I don't want to hear this. Because if you can get on the right path right now, it can move you, catapult you so much forward. But Mars also just moved into Cancer. This is where you're going to get a lot of that enabling energy. Mars is a fire sign. He just moved into Cancer, which is a water sign. Pluto just left Capricorn, which is father energy. Mars just moved into Cancer, which is mother energy, nurturing. It is also your inner emotional security. But you're talking about fire and water. You know what that is? Steam. That is the kettle that is boiling, that is simmering. Where it either boils over or starts to make that high-pitched sound. That's what this is. It's steam. It's building and building and building and kind of, it's not quite able to go. Mars is your passion, your action, your aggression, your fire. He's been fed up with being in Aquarius for the last, 4 or 5 months? Not Aquarius. Gemini. He's so ready to be out of here, but he's coming into a place that it does make him more compassionate because he is coming into that nurturing energy. It is coming into that inner emotional security, but it's also that nurturing mother energy. And this is where we have to really start looking at the enabling. And what I mean by that literally is like mama's boy energy. But I don't mean the mama's boy. I mean the mama. I can't say enough times in the world that we have. Of course, we want people to, be their best self. We want them to be able to feel their true emotions. We want men to be able to cry if they're upset about something. Nobody should not be able to have emotion. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we love them so much that we enable them and not allow them to grow, that we baby them. And this is going to be a problem in this Mars energy. This Mars energy has also got Palace here. Athena, the warrior goddess, strategic thinking. So this is full on the mama of the mama's boy, trying to handle everything until that boiling over hits. And this is making sure that you are in control of your emotions, that you are nurturing yourself as well, not just nurturing outwardly. Like I said, you also have Pluto that just left the father energy. He's coming back. Maybe not right now, but he's coming back. He's got more thought down to do here. So this is saying, don't let this become that enabling situation at that time. Make sure it is nurturing. Make sure that you have compassion, but you're still taking action. But most of this is about action of acknowledging your own ego and the product of the environment that you are part of, and how much this is affecting your growth. You have Taurus. Sorry, let me go back to Aries. Aries is where that solar eclipse is going to take place, as well as the new moon in a month from now. But you still have the sun here right now. You have Mercury, Jupiter, Chiron, and Vesta all in a straight line. Everybody's talking about all the planets in a straight line, but there's a difference here. Yes, they're in a straight line all together, but what nobody's talking about is the three that are on the other side staring them down, which I'm going to get into that in a second, because ain't nobody talking to you about that. That's the key here. But in this straight line of all of these energies, they've still got to be within that 10 degrees of each other in order for it to become explosive, in order for that to be something that makes a difference in their energy, to actually amplify it. Okay? And you're talking about Mercury, Jupiter, Chiron, Vesta, and Aries, all on top of each other, with the sun at one end and the Eris at the other. Eris is trouble, toil, strife, Medusa, vampire syndrome. I can't let go of this because I'm not done killing it. I'm not done sucking every piece of crap out of it. I must continue to still hold on to it, because if I let go of it, then that means I have to actually heal. And I don't know how to do that. I only know how to hold on to what I've always been taught. Chiron, the wounded healer, in the first house, your personal identity, your ego, what you shine, good or bad. Speaking to how you identify with the world, as well as how the world identifies when it looks at you. Amplifying abundance energy. There's a lot of me first energy, and it's not even me first, it's me now energy, which sounds the same, but me now is more like I said now. That aggressiveness coming in. You've got that energy that is all still there. You've got Uranus and Taurus in the North Node, but Uranus Taurus is the sign. Uranus, Venus, and the North Node. The North Node and the South Node are starting to get ready to make their change. Not for a couple months still, but they're getting ready to make their change. This is why the eclipses are going to start coming in Aries and Libra. Talking about your relationships and who you are, product of your environment. Ego, are you acknowledging this? Enabling. Are you enabling? Are you being enabled? And what this is doing with your relationship, with your life, where you're taking it, the power. Venus, extra sensitivity. She runs, technically, she is the ruler of Taurus. But with Uranus here, that brings a whole new level of independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. Me first energy, just like Aries. And the North Node is trying to teach you how to give your me first in the proper way. Okay, directly across from these, like I said, you have that whole line of how everybody's talking about, oh, these planets are the same line. Anyway, yes. But what they're not paying attention to is the fact of where that South Node is, which is still in Scorpio, that Haumea, which is the energy of the collective consciousness, in the 8th house, coming towards that south node, going, I can't deny this anymore. I can't. The gloves and the masks are coming off. The masquerade is over. Everything is coming out. Your laundry is being aired. In the relationships, how you see yourself in the relationship. Is this relationship working? In the 8th house, rules, walls, boundaries, death, decay, and destruction, renewal, rebirth, regeneration, is asking you if this is truly the path you want. Is what your beliefs been truly, do they serve? Or is this something that you've been imprinted in? Is it auto brain? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you exploring? Or are you just going to stay in the small little bubble that you have and stay with what you've learned or been told or taught? The 7th house is Libra, and it has make there. Again, the lotus flower. Do you want to have a swampy relationship? Do you want it to be a little frothy? I see a little bit of light, but there's still a whole lot of shit here. Or do you want to stretch and bloom and have a good relationship? With yourself, with the world around you, the product of your environment? This has a lot to do with where we're in ego, where we're not ignoring it, where we're enabling it, or we're being enabled by somebody else who's always helping us and not really helping us. Not to mention, that's also the kidneys. The lower back is getting into the relationship zone of the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is not just about sex. You can't get into your I am power energy if you can't look at your life, look at yourself, and feel good. I mean, we all have our days where we look in the mirror and we're like, what the fuck, dude? But we have our days where we're also like, yeah, I'm good. You know, and you feel good about yourself. This is why I put the sacral chakra with that belly dancer energy. You could be the biggest, fattest sumo wrestler, and if you feel good about you, good for you. Just don't be lying to yourself about it. You could be the skinniest, and if you feel good, the boniest, and if you feel good, then good for you. Nobody has to look at you. They got the opportunity to turn their neck, but it's you who has to live with you. It's you who has to have the relationship with yourself first, a healthy one, in order to have relationships with others. This is setting the foundations properly. How well is that foundation? Your inner emotional security. We're getting into that Mars energy and fizzling. I mean, steam. Like I said, it's I see it, 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 I see it. Well, what are we going to do with it? And how are we going to do it? When I get into the blueprint, you have that head energy, like I've been saying the whole time. You've got Chiron, Neptune, Mercury, Jupiter, Vesta, Eris, all in Aries. So this is pretty much your brain, the nerves of the brain, how the brain actually acts, figuring out all of its thinking, all of its motor skills, all of its analyzing, how it's correcting your words, your thinking, your hearing, and da-da-da-da-da. It deals with your eyes, it deals with your ears, it deals with your nerves. Chiron's a wounded healer. Jupiter is abundance. Sun illuminating. It's all right there for you to see whether you want to or not. Coming abundantly in. This is part of why headaches have been so bad. Part of why your temperatures are so wackety. I said wackety. But your brain also has a lot to do with leveling out that temperature of the body. As we get into that Taurus energy, you still have Venus, Uranus, Juno, and the North Node. Juno is the sacrifice and the commitment it takes in the throat chakra and the zeal point. The zeal point is what opens you up for psychic attack or closes the psychic attack by your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, by how strongly you feel within your energy, not because you're having to attack back, but because you're able to stand in that power. Hold on one second. And then we have, as we get into Mars, we have Mars, Palace, and Cancer. This is technically in your ribs, but we're starting to get into that heart chakra energy. Lilith is still here in the heart chakra energy. Not to mention Sirius, which is also directly across from these planets that are all in alignment, going out of Libra, just came back into Virgo in retrograde. Everybody's not hearing about the retrograde still. Sirius is your karma. She is your threefold. She is your nurturing or neglecting energy. Getting into that sixth house, your groups, your memberships, your committees, your people, places, and things. And all of this, she's on the heart valve. All of these energies are on the heart. Coming into the heart chakra, the heart energy, this is life force energy. Life force driving energy to drive you to a new, higher perspective or not. Or are you so much in your life that you're not in your life? You've got that make too is still here in the in Virgo as well, and this is coming into your sacral chakra, into that kidneys, the bladder, all of this, and affecting, speaking to how your mind and your heart is being affected by these relationships, getting into the kidneys and into all of that energy. And then I'm more or less to remind you again of the bronchial tubes, which is dealing with Mercury as its energy. It's also the skin diseases that are coming up with the Pluto's movement, with skin diseases, skin infections, regeneration, your immune system, and being able to bounce back quickly, yes or no. It did just move. Think about it. It took 250 or 200 some years before it jumped back into Aquarius. Then it's only going to be here for 5 months. I mean, for 2 months before it jumps back until the end of the year when it jumps back again. So you're talking about knee energy, but you're also talking about your immune system. You're talking about your skin. You're talking about being able to rejuvenate, regenerate, heal quick. This is all slow moving energies. This is slow moving body molding of where we're trying to put ourselves to a new vibration, and understanding the jigsaw puzzle that it is what they just gave me. Not to mention, I mean, I've been saying the whole time, with the energies going on in Pisces right now, you've got to watch out for the hallucinations. You've got to watch out for the psychic disorders, the psychic addictions, technically poisonings coming up that are just odd, as well as psychic attacks coming in. Now, when I get into the actual astrology this week, let me have a sip of my drink. My throat gets tired. You have the moon, which is going to be moving through Cancer, then through Leo, then through Virgo. This is getting into nesting, nurturing, and drama into ourselves. Because Leos are known to be very dramatic. They are compassionate, but the energy is loud and obnoxious. Okay? I'm a Leo here, what can I say? But The nurturing energy is also the Cancer energy. We have so much energy going on here. It's mothering, but Cancers have an anger problem. So I'm talking about the fire building. Like I said, the fire and the water building, sizzling. I mean, that's sizzling, but steaming. And then it's going to get into Virgo at the end of the week. Picking apart arrogance. Sorry, but the way that the energies are coming in, that's what's going to be growing as you're going through the week. You have the moon is going to be in that 4th house with Mars, dealing very unhappily with Pallas, as well as dealing unhappily with Aries and with Neptune. And I say Aries because I mean all of Aries. Mars is not in that, and during the moon being there, that's your emotional mood swings. Okay? The moon is your body, sensitivity, and your mood swings. And we're talking about it being in that nurturing, neglecting, kind of enabling. Am I giving too much? Am I not giving too much? Am I allowing there to be growth? Do I love you so much that I'm not helping? There's a tug of war there going on with Mars. Okay, and it's fighting, standing in your own identity or shading away from it, acknowledging it or not. It's that 1st house of me first energy. Wanting to start a new cycle, wanting to make the changes, but fighting that Neptune in the 12th house. If you just bite your tongue, it'll all pass. Yeah, it'll pass, and it won't have anything ever happen. Then you have that moon going through Lilith and Leo. Leo coming through and talking to Lilith, not getting along with the North Node or the South Node, not getting along with Pluto, learning any of the lessons or figuring out the power of who and what you are, as well as standing in your groups, your memberships, your committees. This is your passion, your action, your aggression. Speaking of the Leo, of your inner fire, of your inner dreams, goals. No, inner fun. What do you enjoy? Your hobbies, what you want to be part of. It is your dreams and your goals, but it's from a different perspective. It's having time to do the things that make you enjoy being part of this life. Fighting, do you have the time? Are those groups and memberships the product of your environment? Do they support what you want? Are they keeping you from really going in that? This is why I said Spirit used the rock as an example. There are many famous people that some of you may look up to or not. It's just one of them that I'm using as an example, who didn't come from the best of places. But if you keep going at what you want, you keep believing it, you keep standing firm, and you keep walking that path, it's a possibility. But when you don't, it's never going to be a possibility. And then you have that Virgo energy in the moon, anal retentive, picking things apart, detail-oriented, troubleshooting, people, places, things, groups, memberships, your daily mundane tasks, fighting Aries. Again, fighting your identity or your ego. Which one is it? You have Mars this week, which is having incredibly unpredictable energies going on with Pluto. Again, Pluto is now in that 11th house, taking the chances to change some things up, the groups, the memberships, the committees, getting in with certain people, maybe getting out with others, going towards what you really want, or is it going away from what you really want? Mars is wanting to nurture, but still wanting to take action. Wishy-washy here. It's unpredictable. It all depends on your free will. It's you who has to choose. You have Mars, which is more or less in a grand trine. with all week with Saturn and the South Node. Now, this is a good energy. Saturn is trying to lend some of that energy in the 12th house of learning, where you haven't been moving forward, where you're stuck, where you're stuck in a comfort zone, but where it's not helping anymore. This is the same old pattern. Are you seeing it? We need to make changes here for the healing to take place. Speaking to that 4th house, your inner emotional security, actually starting to create it. It's not just the 4th house of the home. The home is here. Because until you die, the soul still is stuck in here. And it is speaking with the South Node. The South Node is going, have you learned where you're comfortable, where you haven't grown, where you're stuck? Or do you enjoy being stuck? It's not like you don't know. It's just, do you want to know? It's a very positive energy of helping you move forward. But like I said, it's because you have to want to know it. You have to want the change. You have Mars, which is getting along great with the North Node and with Mercury. That's your 2nd house. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Sensitivity about yourself, coming into acknowledging who you are, how to speak properly through the throat chakra, and how all the way around that neck energy, the zeal point, how to feel good and secure with who and what you are. Or are you acknowledging the exact opposite because you're not in that security? And it is speaking to Mercury. It's all about communication. But Mercury's in the 1st house. Again, placing us back to our ego. Still looking at your light and dark. You have Mars, which is definitely not getting along with Venus or Uranus. We're not in yin and yang. Venus and Uranus coming closer together in that 2nd house. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. This is, I can't say it enough times, if you are not in your power, someone or something else will take it from you. Second house is the manifestation house, the money house, where everything grows, where you either are the possession of your own energy or someone else is. And it is speaking to that inner emotional security. Can you get out of the steam and get in your own nirvana? By knowing who you are, allowing you to have both fire and water in you at once. In that inner emotional security. It can be loving, but it can still be action. But will it be enabling action? Or are you waiting to be enabled? Pluto is getting along wonderfully, more or less sextiling Saturn and Neptune. Giving you the opportunity again to make changes. It's your skeletons in the closet coming out. It's the groups, it's where we hold on to the skeletons in the closet. It's our grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities, where we like to poke fingers at why I can't move forward. That fault. It's that person's fault. It's because society's like this. I'm just pointing fingers at everything except for doing what I need to do to heal and move forward and take the reins of my own life. Saturn and Pluto are Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune are getting along great. If you can see through where you keep doing the same thing because it's showing you where it's not working, and you make the changes. The problem with sextiles is they don't last long. The opportunity is not there for long. The time is now. Even though you may not feel fully in that stepping out energy. It's just making sure you're being real with it. You also have Pluto has his eyes, is the way I was picking it up from Spirit when I was writing my homework. Pluto has his eyes all over Cancer energy. As the moon is coming through, as you have Pallas, Athena the warrior goddess here, as you have Mars here, he is inspecting the crap out of this. He is over there on the other side, the groups, the memberships, the committees, people, places, things that we are part of. And does it support our true dreams, ambitions, goals, where we want our heart and soul and life and enjoyment to go? Or are we a product of the environment? And it is looking directly over here at 4 going, did that feel good? And our emotional security. She's trying to definitely get in and go, are you looking at this? I only here for 2 months. I'm trying to make sure that you see exactly what you're part of, what you want to be part of, and what you don't want to be part of. How secure are you with this? Is that what you want? Good and bad, but he is definitely boom, boom, down on that. Unpredictable energy is very powerful, but it's unpredictable between him and Mars. But as far as that moon running through and Pallas running through, not so good. It's definitely all over it going, where's the balance? Bringing you back to that eclipse energy that's coming in. Masculine, feminine, taking a look at your relationships. A good, hard look at the relationships and what are those relationships doing to or for you. Incredibly sensitive energy this is. Saturn is all over the Sun, Jupiter, Chiron, and Mercury, and Vesta. Going, are you going to set the boundaries or not? You're just going to continue, so we're just going to keep walking the same? Or are you going to acknowledge your own enabling, where you're in not making the cycle change, because this is Aries energy. It's about me now. So how much me now are you really paying attention to? Like I said, ego and narcissisticness and self-love is a very fine line. You have to love yourself, but not in a way that is a lie to yourself, and not in a way that makes you any better than anybody else, but sure as hell not any worse or less. We're all here to shine. So are you seeing the true light of what you are, for good and bad? Because sometimes it's that we see in the bad in ourselves and we're not seeing the light. It's your identity and how you view the world. You have Neptune, which is not getting along with Lilith. The heart chakra. What makes you happy? What drives your life force? What do you get up for every day? Do you get up just because you have to go to work? Do you get up just because you got to bring, go to work, bring bread home, put food on the table, take care of Tommy, take care of mom, take care of this? What do you get up for every day? Is any of that soul burning fire yours? And if so, explore that. You have to love you and want to enjoy your life. Want to take time for the things you enjoy. Are you really getting to those things? Are these relationships in your life supporting those things? Or is it a product of the environment and I'll just keep getting up every day and going to work? How multidimensional are you? I love you guys. I just want you to be in the best places you can. With that being said, I want to bring up the fact I do have my dragon line out. I have not put it up yet on the Etsy shop just because I've been incredibly swamped. I haven't been able to get good pictures that I like yet for the Etsy shop. But you can always go to my Facebook page and you can look up right there and still purchase from me. My dragon line has, I believe, 5 oils as well as 5 incense. Now, these incense are cone incense. They are not like any other cone incense that you purchase, because usually when you purchase cone incense, they are all made with herbs, not with herbs, with powder. I've grinded them up with the actual herbs, the seeds, and so forth. So these are more like many major maximum little spells. And they are definitely giving more energy to it. Not to mention the dragon line is called Dragon's Treasures. I have been working on this for about a year now, and everything on this line is coming out with an authoritative magical seal. I have been working with the dragons to create the seal, which is amplifying the energy and calling in all the dragons to help with whatever these are. You can always, like I said, check my Facebook page if you're interested. Plus, I do have sales going on because I know these energies have been difficult, which you can find on my Facebook page as well. So it's, I think, like the aura kit, which would be a bath, an oil, and a spray, as well as the psychic sponge kit to help you deal with the energies that are coming and help you transmutate it and help get rid of it and handle it as you're working through your regular day. These are kits that I've made that you can find at my website, not my page as well. And then if you're interested in any of my other oils, if you buy 4 items or more, you're creating your own kit, which will get you 35% off. You can always book your appointments with me. All you have to do is message me. I usually do them buying out an hour at a time. So I sit down with you guys. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to sit down with you all and take that hour out and let the mediums step in, as well as if you want tarot or anything, I can pull them, but 90% of the time I don't need them. I love you guys. I will see you later. Bye.